Hello everybody, Sticks here with the Token Minorities, bringing you another deck on Pokemon TCGO, and today I am bringing you a deck centered around Delphox Break from Fates Collide. And just a reminder that if you like this video or found it helpful, please leave a like, drop a comment, and maybe subscribe. It helps us out a lot and lets us do more for you guys. But anyway, like I said, this deck is centered around Delphox Break from the new set, Fates Collide, and you might say that this deck is a project of the Flare Witch variety. I apologize, that was a horrible, horrible joke, but I just had to make it given Delphox's obvious illusion in its ability name, Flare Witch. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a fire energy and attach it to one of your Pokemon. So that is basically just a free method of acceleration of energy, and with fire types already having great acceleration otherwise, Delphox Break is just another way that you can power up different fire type attackers. And the thing is, we are pairing it with a Delphox that has a great attack on its own, Psystorm. 4/3 colorless energy, does 20 times the number of energy attached to all Pokemon in play. That's not you and your opponent's active Pokemon, that's not your Pokemon, that's not your opponent's Pokemon, that is all Pokemon in play. This can rack up damage so quickly, especially with the type of acceleration that this deck provides, and Delphox will be the main attacker of this deck, trying to hit with Psystorm for as often as possible. So I'm only running 3 of these just because Delphox also has another form from XY with the Mystical Fire ability. Once during your turn, you may draw it until you have 6 cards in your hand. That is fantastic for draw support, and if we are already running a deck centered around Delphox, it would, in my opinion, it would kind of be a mistake to leave this Delphox out just because it is such a, well, I mean, it has such a potent ability, and it has a pretty great attack as well with Blaze Ball. 50 plus 20 for each fire energy attached to this Pokemon, so basically Secret Sword from Keldeo in Boundaries Crossed. It's also the Raikou from Breakthrough. Basically, you can power up that attack very, very quickly, especially with this type of deck. As for the rest of the Pokemon, we are running 2 Shaman for setup and just to draw some more cards. We are running 4/3/4 line of Fennekin, Braixen, and Delphox. I think that's how you say it. But we are running 2 different Fennekin, one of them just to attack for 20 if you need it, and the other to have a, well, I mean, just a complete catcher-like ability. Really, it's just a matter of preference. I decided to run both just, I mean, in case you encounter a scenario where either one would be helpful. Then running 3 Braixen just to be able to evolve the Fennekins without rare candy. And then 4 Delphox, because like I said, this deck is centered around Delphox and we want to be attacking with it as often as possible. And then 3 Delphox breaks for that ability, and also the fact that it has 180 HP basically makes it an EX Pokemon, so that is pretty awesome. And of course, because we're running a fire deck where you can accelerate fire energy onto your Pokemon, we're running a Flareon. I mean, Flareon has the exact same attack as Delphox, and it also has the ability, once during your turn, you may move a fire energy from one of your Pokemon to this Pokemon, so Flareon just has amazing synergy in this deck, and you can even load up a Flareon, so you can power up a Flareon and a Delphox at the exact same time by attaching energy to Flareon, so I mean, that just has amazing synergy, allows you to hit very, very hard. And as for the items, we are running 3 Max Elixir. I will explain why I'm running 3 in just a little bit. 3 Max Elixir just to get energy onto our stuff, just accelerate it as quickly as possible. 2 Rare Candy to evolve a Fennekin straight into a Delphox. Sacred Ash, because fire types have Blacksmith, you don't necessarily need the energy recovery from the discard pile from like a Super Rod or something like that. So I'm running Sacred Ash just to get everything back into our deck. We are also running 4 Trainer's Mail to help with the consistency of this deck. Every deck I've been using recently has been running 4 Trainer's Mail. And really, it's just great for being able to look at the top 4 cards of your deck and pick out a trainer. Like, it doesn't guarantee that you will get something that will help, but I mean, it does greatly increase your chance and helps in, I guess, helps you not be in top deck mode as much, but also helps if you draw it while in top deck mode. Running 4 Ultra Ball because, I mean, we just want to get absolutely everything out. 4 VS Seeker to reuse all of our supporters, and this Blacksmith, the fact that I'm running 2 Blacksmith is the reason I'm only running 3 Max Elixir. I started running with 1 Blacksmith and 4 Max Elixir, but I found that Blacksmith would be prized at the most inopportune times, so therefore like my energy from the discard pile would just kind of be stuck there. So I decided to drop a max elixir and run an extra blacksmith. I mean, that is completely up to you guys to try. I mean, this is just what I have found be the most useful, so I mean that's what I'm rolling with. Try it out for yourself. Try 4 and 1, or try like 3 and 2. I don't know. Just try out lines for yourself. This is just here so you guys have an idea of what type of combinations you can run with Delphox Break. And then I'm running 1 Lysander. I mean, I say this time and time again, but Lysander's a lot like Shaman. You run them in almost every single deck. In fact, I think I run more decks with Lysander than I do decks with Shaman. I mean, granted, that's only by like 1 or 2, but still Lysander is just great for bringing things out that you want to knock out. And then a 3-2 line of NN Sycamore. I've normally been running a 3-3, but the fact that we have Delphox with the Mystical Fire ability, we don't necessarily mind going for a few more ends, and also that is in lieu of some draw support. That way you can use Blacksmith a little more. So I decided to drop a Sycamore and just rely on Delphox a little bit more. I mean, granted, this could be prized and you could be in a little bit of trouble, but I mean, I still think I'm running enough draw support to where I think I will be just fine. And also, another reason that I'm okay only running 2 Sycamore is because we have Scorched Earth, where you can discard a fire energy and draw 2 cards. So this deck has a lot of ways of draw support, so a kind of thinner line of Sycamore doesn't always hurt it. And then as for the tools, I'm kind of running a little kind of weird. I'm running 1 Fighting Fury Belt and 1 Muscle Band. The Fighting Fury Belt obviously only goes on Flareon, that's just to make it a little more powerful. And then 1 Muscle Band for a Delphox. I mean, you can definitely get rid of these if you don't want them. I just decided to have them in here in like a pinch if you need 20 more damage or you want Flareon to last a little bit longer. I mean, one thing you could definitely do is just drop the Muscle Band completely and add another Max Elixir. With the Delphox, it has the exact same ability. And one thing I do want to point out about Max Elixir is that attach them to a basic Pokemon. So you cannot attach these to Delphox. They will only be going to like Fennekin and Flareon, but Flareon is able to move energy to it, and then you will have to manually or blacksmith up a Delphox. So I mean, that's just something to watch out for, that Max Elixir does only go to basic Pokemon, but you have enough ways of moving energy around, such as Flareon. Well, I mean, Flareon's the way you have of moving energy around, that it is okay to sometimes attach it to a Shaman. And also, Delphox, I mean, it doesn't need a lot of energy attached to it. It just needs energy in play, and Max Elixir allows you to do that. And then finally, I'm running 12 Fire Energy. Just, I mean, there's no other... I don't really need to explain that, just because I'm running a bunch of Fire Energy to hit for as much damage as possible. But anyway, I'm done rambling. Let's just go ahead and see this deck in action. Alrighty, we have found one against a ET 2000. Oh my goodness, if this is a Vespiquen Vileplume deck, I'm just going to cry. I mean, we will have the ability to do decently against it, and we do win the coin flip, so that is very, very, very beneficial for us. And we will have the type advantage, so that's even better. Starting with a Shaman is not what we wanted at all. In fact, I run so many basics in my deck, and I start with the Shaman. That happens way too much and is very, very frustrating. I mean, at least my opponent has to start with one too. So what I am going to go ahead and do is get rid of a Fire Energy, and I think the Blacksmith, to be able to grab another Shaman, hopefully grab a Flareon or something like that I can Blacksmith onto. And then let's go ahead and play another Shaman down. And I mean, I want a Blacksmith target this turn. I mean, a Fennekin definitely works. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and grab that. Go ahead and... I very easily could actually get a... I'm actually going to try to go for the Flareon this turn, if I can hit the Max Ether. So let's go ahead and get rid of the Rare Candy and the Delphox Break. Grab the Flareon. Put that down, and this will put us at 0 cards, but I think if I can pull this off, it will be worth it. So we do actually manage to pull that off. So I do get to retreat into the Flareon right here. I have 2 energy in the discard pile. I'm just going to go for the VS Seeker, grab the Blacksmith, and we have a fully powered up Flareon turn 1 with 3 Fire Energy, but 2 Fire Energy from the Blacksmith. I'm just going to end the turn right there. Hope that my opponent has an N or something like that. I mean, basically, that was as good of a turn 1 as I could have hoped for. That way I can just pressure my opponent into like needing to knock out the Flareon turn 1. And yep, this is a Vespiquen Vileplume deck. Why do people keep spamming this? I mean, I get that it's such a good deck, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of using this type of deck over and over and over and just kind of spamming it on the ladder. Especially because, I mean, its whole premise is just locking down your opponent. And yes, I mean, I will say over and over again that this is a very, very good deck. I mean, it's won state championships. It will definitely have a... Well, I mean, you will definitely see it at nationals and worlds and stuff like that. So it is very, very powerful. But, I mean, it's like... I don't know, it's kind of like spamming Night March, in my opinion. Like, it's just not... It's not that fun for everybody. And hopefully... My opponent... Okay, so my opponent actually just has to go for a Vileplume turn 1. Oh man, that is great for us. And we even get a Lysander, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to go ahead and... Do I want to knock out the... It depends on what I want to do. Do I want to knock out the Vileplume or the Vespiquen? Actually, I think for this turn, I'm going to go ahead and take 2 prizes because my opponent doesn't have items. And what I can do based on... what I draw off of here is see what else I am going to go for. And okay, my opponent promotes the Vespiquen, so depending on what I draw will determine if I decide to Lysander in the Vileplume or something like that. Hopefully my opponent doesn't seem... Okay, so he does have another Shaman. What I actually might do if my opponent doesn't get much is go ahead and Lysander in the Shaman and take 2 more prizes. He is just going to go ahead and Lysander in my Shaman. So that means all I need is a Fire Energy to get the Shaman out of the active spot. And it looks like my opponent is just going to go straight for a Bee Revenge, do a little bit of damage, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. And I do get that Fire Energy, that is just great. Going to go ahead and play the Braixen down. Going to go ahead and play the Energy onto the Shaman, retreat into my Flareon, and then go for a Blaze Ball, but we don't get to because our opponent just concedes. I mean, that was kind of a matchup. I mean, not really, just because it was so quick and we were just able to steamroll our opponent, so that's not really going to count, and I'm just going to try to find another match with this deck. Alrighty, we have found one against a Sam TTS 1964. Man, if that guy's that old, why is he still on TCGO? We do get to go first, and I mean, I apologize if that came out wrong. It's just, I mean, I actually would be really impressed if somebody had been playing the Pokemon trading card game since 1964, especially since it wasn't even out until sometime in the 2000s. But if this guy is, I believe he'd be like 60, no, he wouldn't be 62. He'd be 50, 52 maybe? That's, maybe my math's right. I don't know, but if you're 52 and playing Pokemon, I just salute you at that point, because that's impressive. We do start with the Fennekin, and my opponent starts the Gardevoir. That is just fine as long as we don't just get destroyed. What I am going to do is go ahead and grab the Lysander, get that into my hand, and then I think just immediately Professor Sycamore. I will be losing the Delphox break, but as long as I can get some other stuff out, that is just fine. Which I do. I get a Fennekin and a Flareon, and what I can do is just go ahead and max Elixir, get a energy onto the, probably the Flareon. Yeah, let's go ahead and Trainer's Mail, see what else we get. I get another N. That is just fine with me, and I think I'm going to end the turn right there. If my opponent is able to get the Gardevoir up turn 1, then I mean, I just salute you at that point. That's just impressive if you're able to attack with Gardevoir turn 1. But I do kind of have a Blacksmith play set up, but I think it would be in my best interest to just attach to Flareon and go from there. But I don't know, I'll see what I draw. During this turn, I'm definitely going to attach the Fire Energy to my Flareon and then go for an N, especially because my opponent is stockpiling so many cards in his hand. I just kind of want to disrupt that. If you're running Tierno, then I am 1000% going to N you, just because, I mean, I don't want you to have all those resources in your hand. And I even have a chance to get a Delphox next turn if I play my cards right. But we will definitely see. What's my opponent going to go for? So this is a Mega Gardevoir deck, and this is actually really awesome because Delphox will be powered up by the energy on Mega Gardevoir. So, I mean, we will be taking knockout for knockout, but at this point, I'm just kind of in a position where like I'm able to make that prize trade, and looks like my opponent might just be going for a life leap this turn. That is just fine. Does 20 damage, doesn't knock out my Finnegan, and that is great. Ooh, I even get a Braxton, so what I am going to go ahead and do is play the Braxton onto, I think, I mean, it really doesn't matter, but I'm going to play it onto this one, play the energy onto the Flareon, and then go for an N. I don't need to retreat until I see what else I have. Oh, I get a rare candy and a Delphox. That is terrific. So what I am going to go ahead and do is actually just go ahead and, I mean, I guess Mega Evolve, or not Mega Evolve, just evolve into Delphox, and then slap a Muscle Band and put this Gardevoir to, yeah, put it to sleep. Yep, there we go. Go for a Flickering Flames. It'll do 60. My opponent will be asleep, and he doesn't even wake up, so that is even better for us. I will actually, if I want to, I have the opportunity to go for a Blacksmith next turn to get some more energy onto Delphox in order to Psystorm. So, oh, my opponent just forfeits. No, I wanted to be able to use Delphox, but looks like everybody is just conceding early on us. I mean, that flip was a little bit unfortunate, but it looked like my opponent didn't have much. So, unfortunately, we have now gone 0 for 2 for real matches, so I'm going to obviously try to find another one with this deck. Alrighty, we have found another one, and hopefully this one sticks against Momence, truce, maybe? Is that how you say it? Not sure. But he's running also a fire and normal deck, so this might be a mirror match. We do win the coin flip, that is great for us. Then again, this also could potentially be a speed Entei deck, which might just run us over. And oh man, okay, I'm so glad we decided to, well, I'm so glad that we were able to start with a Finnegan and not just a Shaman, because I mean, with this deck, I run 4 Finnegan and 2 Flareon and 2 Shaman, but I start with Shaman more often than not. And you'd think just based on odds, I should be able to start with Finnegan or something like that way more often, but nope, I start with Shaman, and it looks like, unless I want to attach a Fighting Fury Belt to Finnegan, which I might just do to give it some longevity and not get knocked out turn 1, is go for the Fighting Fury Belt on Finnegan, and then Shaman for 2, hopefully get something we can work with. You know what, 2 Trainer Mail is just fine, especially when we can grab, I think I'm just going to grab a Sycamore to guaranteed get something into my hand. Let's go for the Trainer's Mail. We get a Scorched Earth, which I can definitely work with, and let's go ahead and play that there. Scorched Earth, get rid of 2 cards. It will help my opponent. Oh man, that is very, very annoying. But I'm going to get rid of the Sycamore and a Fire Energy to grab a Flareon, I think. Yeah, a Flareon, and I will have to get rid of 2 Delphox breaks, which stinks a lot, but I should have a Sacred Ash somewhere to where it will be able to come back and be able to do something for me. So, oh look, another Delphox break, what do you know? And, so I get another Finnegan out, another Flareon, and I think I'm just, for the time being, going to retreat. Do I want to retreat? Yeah, because I don't want Finnegan to get knocked out into a Flareon, and then, yeah, just go from there. I have a Blacksmith to be able to hit with my Flareon next turn if I want to, depending on what my opponent does. And unfortunately, the Fighting Fury Belt will not be able to be played onto Flareon, so that is a little bit unfortunate right there. But it was worth it just at the time to have the illusion that Finnegan could survive 1 turn, unless my opponent got a Heat Tackle, which is very, very possible in this deck, and which I've also pulled off numerous times. And it looks like my opponent, oh man, will he be able to pull off a double Muscle Banded Heat Tackle this turn? Ugh, that would be so scary if he was able to do that. Oh no, I hope he doesn't. I'm really hoping he just doesn't have enough stuff in his hand and he has to... Oh, thank the Lord. Okay, so we're okay for now. I'm going to go ahead and play the Braxton down. Gonna go ahead and... Do I want to Blacksmith or do I want to Scorched Earth and kind of risk it? You know what? Screw it. Doing it for the live. Getting rid of the Fire Energy. Try to grab 2 more things. We get... we don't get enough to attack this turn, so that is unfortunate. I risked it too much. And let's just go ahead and go for a Blacksmith onto the Braxton on the bench just to get some energy onto it, and then if somehow Flareon survives next turn, I can just use the Flash Fire onto it, and I mean, it was a little bit greedy of me at that point, but I decided that it was worth it to do it for the live, see if I could get something else. I mean, the definite smarter play would have been attached to Flareon and then hit for a Blaze Ball that turn, but I decided that it wasn't worth it, and my opponent will be able to draw 2 more cards off of our Scorched Earth, use it probably better than we did, and oh, there's the double Muscle Band, and will we see another couple energy? Because if I can get a Delphox next turn, I will be able to... Oh, there's the Blacksmith. We will see a... Wow. Okay, we're going to see a 170 damage Blaze or Heat Tackle. Ugh, that's not good. But if I do get a Delphox next turn, which is a definite possibility, and a Fire Energy, I will be able to knock out this Entei, because you have 80 damage right there, and then 110 or 100, 120, and yeah, that could potentially be the game depending on what I get. I get another Fennekin. Whew, I'm gonna have to pray right here that I can get a Delphox off of this Sycamore, get rid of my last Delphox break. Just pray at this point. Up, there we go. Don't get a single Fire Energy though. That is really bad that I wasn't able to draw one. Oh man, that is unfortunate, to say the least. We do get 1 energy that we can play onto, I guess, the Fennekin, maybe? Or just, what do I want to sack at this point? Because I will just play this onto the Fennekin, go for... If I can somehow get another Ultra Ball, then that will be just great for me. Let's go ahead and put another energy onto... Put an energy onto the Flareon. Go for the Trainer's Mail, hopefully get like an Ultra Ball or something. Nope, I don't get anything. I get a VS Seeker, which will mean that I can go for an attack next turn, but unfortunately I won't be able to do anything, so I am just going to retreat into the Fennekin, evolve into the Delphox, and just have to go from there. That was not what I wanted to do at all, and I'm just going to go for a Will-O-Wisp for 20 damage. Even if my opponent Lysander's in the Delphox, I mean, that was very unfortunate. I mean, 3 energy, I mean, half my energy's on the field, and I have 18 cards left in my deck. Like, I've gone through over half my deck, and I couldn't draw a single Fire Energy just then, and I couldn't draw a Fire Energy last turn, so that's actually very, very, very unfortunate. My opponent will just Lysander in the Delphox, but I do have the means of knocking out this Entei next turn with Flareon if it comes down to that, and I do. Okay, I think that will be, yeah, that will be the game, because I have a Blacksmith in hand. I can also Flash Fire with my Flareon, so unfortunately Delphox Break didn't really get to come into play. But I mean, that is, I mean, you do what you have to win. Let's just go ahead and Blacksmith. Blacksmith onto the Flareon, get 2 energies onto it. Yeah, good thing I did click it, go for Flash Fire, get some of the Fennekin's energy onto it, and then go for a Blaze Ball for the win. So, I mean, that was just very, very unlucky that we weren't able to draw into any energy, but I mean, we were still able to power up a Flareon in 1 turn to the point where it could one-shot an Entei and win us the game. So, I mean, that was not how it was supposed to work, and I'm going to try to find one more. I want to be able to attack with Delphox, use Psystorm at some point. So I'm going to try to find one more, and next one will be the last one regardless. Alrighty, we have found one against a Gertie boy with a Water Psychic deck. Oh man, I hope this isn't Trevenant. If it is Trevenant, then I hope we go first, but I'm just kind of crossing my fingers that it isn't. We do win the coin flip. That is absolutely fantastic for us, and I'm also crossing my fingers that this is the last one that Delphox will actually be able to do something. Ooh, we don't start with the best hand, but hopefully we'll get something off the mulligan. I mean, we have stuff that we can definitely work with, but wow, my opponent just starts with 3 Psychic Energy. Okay, yep, this is 1,000,000,000% Trevenant. That is very, very, very annoying, and that's just something that we're going to have to deal with, but you know what? I think that we will be able to do it, especially if my opponent starts with the Remoraid. That helps a lot. So let's go ahead and attach 1 energy to the Fennekin, go for a Scorched Earth, draw 2 more cards, get an Ultra Ball, get rid of, I think, the Lysander and the Trainer's Mail. Should have gone for a Trainer's Mail to see what else I could get, but I think I'm going to go for... Do I want to go for another Fennekin or a Flareon? I think that might be my best option. Show the playmat. It all depends on what I can get off the Trainer's Mail. I'm going to go kind of risky at this point and grab a... do I want to grab a Shaman? Like, I feel like that's just the safer play to go for. Let's just go ahead and grab the Shaman, go ahead and Trainer's Mail, hopefully somehow... Okay, we get an Ultra Ball, so we definitely can get a Flareon this turn. Let's go ahead and just Shaman for 2 cards. Most likely going to be discarded one way or another. Get another Fennekin. I am just going to go ahead and I think Trainer's Mail, see what else I can get. If I can get like an N or something like that, that works too. Let's just go ahead and Ultra Ball, get rid of the Sacred Ash. I know that's not necessarily what you want to do, but I'm just going to do it. Get a Flareon out. I want to play as many items as I possibly can, just because I won't be able to go for those at all. We do get an energy, so that is great. Let's throw it onto the Flareon, and then go for an N, and see if we can get some more stuff to work with, which we definitely do. Ooh, that is very, well, sexy. Let's go ahead and Ultra Ball, get rid of a Fire Energy and another Fire Energy to grab a Shaman to try to draw some more cards. I mean, at this point, I'm fishing for a rare candy that I can hopefully get next turn. And there we go, we get the Shaman down. We get the rare candy. So that is definitely something that I can work with next turn. I'm just going to end my turn right there and, I don't know, just roll with it. I can rare candy into a Delphox next turn, go for a Scorched Earth, try to draw some more stuff. Hopefully my opponent won't have the cards to get a Trevenant turn 1. And okay, so it looks like he will just retreat into his Phantomp. That is just fine, and he won't be able to Wally, so I'm hoping that he does not get a Dimension Valley, because that will allow him to evolve first turn. And okay, my opponent just goes for a Wild River to switch into his Pumpkaboo. So that is just fine. What I am going to go ahead and do is play the rare candy onto this Fennekin. Is that what I want to do? Yep. Gonna go for this Delphox. And then go ahead and play the Braixen down onto this guy. Go ahead and I think I'm gonna go ahead and Mystical Fire now to draw some more cards. And then hope I could, well, I was hoping I could get a Blacksmith, but it doesn't look like I will be able to, especially not now. But I mean, it's not the biggest deal in the world. What I can do is attach 1 energy to this guy, go for an Ultra Ball, get rid of the Fennekin and the, what do I want to get rid of? Probably the other Fennekin to grab a Delphox break. That way I can play it onto my Delphox, and I think we are just in an absolutely phenomenal position. I don't think there's a way my opponent can knock out this Delphox next turn, and I will just be able to, I don't know, slap a Delphox break onto it and attack. So my opponent will go for the item lock this turn. That is just fine with me, because I will be able to get 2 evolutions down and then Blaze Ball for the knockout on the Trevenant. My opponent does just decide to Lysander in this Braixen. That is kind of fine, depending on what I can draw off of my I guess, yeah, off of my Mystical Fire. I get a Blacksmith, so that is just fine. How many energy are in the discard pile? 4. So what we're going to go ahead and do is play this Delphox here, play this Delphox here, go ahead and put this energy here, go for a Blacksmith, get 2 energy onto this Delphox, and then just Psystorm for a ton of damage. And you know what? I can even go for a Flare Witch to get another energy onto a Flareon, and then I can even go for my Mystical Fire to get some more cards in my hand, and then I'm just going to destroy this Trevenant with a Psystorm. So boom, gone. And I could have also Scorched Earth, but that is, I really didn't need to, and also I don't want to deck out. That is something that I kind of have to look out for. And if I have a Lysander in my discard pile, I can one-shot this Mewtwo next turn, and I think even if he evolves into a Mega Mewtwo Y, he will need a DCE to be able to knock me out, and at which point I can respond with, I don't know, I couldn't respond with anything right now, but oh, my opponent even is going to try to Lysander in a Shaman. That is completely fine by me, because I have an energy in my hand that I can just attach to it, and then just, you know, knock the Mewtwo out. I even get a Max Elixir, so what I am going to do is go ahead and VS Seeker, grab a Blacksmith, go ahead and put a couple more energy onto this Flareon just to have something else powered up in the background. Put that there, go for a Max Elixir, get one more energy onto this Flareon just to have something powered up. Go ahead and retreat into this Delphox, and then go for a... Actually, you know what? I'm going to see if I can get another Delphox breakout. I get an N and a Sycamore. I'm just going to grab the N just because. How many Delphox break are in the discard pile? None. So, you know what? Let's just go ahead and Psystorm again for 240 damage. Whew, Delphox is so powerful. Let's see what we can get off the prizes. We get another Delphox break, so I can just throw that onto my own Delphox, and we are just in such an absolutely phenomenal position right now. I mean, my opponent can, attack us, but he even gets tails on the Birch's observations. That's unfortunate, but I don't think there's anything he can do at this point to, delay the inevitable. Delphox is just going to be able to destroy this Mewtwo completely. Let's go ahead and play a Delphox break on that. Put a Fighting Fury Belt onto this Flareon and go for, you know what? Let's just go for even more damage. Let's go for a Blacksmith and power up the Delphox on the bench, put another energy out there. How many energy do we have? We have 11 energy in play right now. So I'm just going to go straight for a Flare Witch, see if there's... And you know what? We were almost able to get all the energy in play and hit for just a ridiculous amount of damage. But whew, I love this. This deck is really, really fun once you can get it going. But it takes a little bit to get it going, but once you can, this deck hits so hard and takes advantages of a lot of decks that try to get energy in play, like Yveltal and the Aromatisse decks. Like, all those like to have a lot of energy in play. This deck just takes advantage of that so fast, and you're able to power up a Delphox in one turn with Blacksmith in your manual attachment. So very, very fun deck. I suggest you guys try it out. And just don't go into the forest after dark and try to film stuff. Okay, that was a horrible reference. I'm so sorry for that. I might even cut that out. Who knows? But thank you for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. And this is Styx signing out. Why not? See you guys.